everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome back to Kit Krunch time and also to monthly celebrations. So for monthly celebrations, we get together with Nicole and Grace and a group of other lovely gals and we do a celebration of the month. And so of course this is July. So all you need to do is hit that show more button below and you will see the other gals and the link to their channel and what they are going to be playing with for the month of July. And it's always fun to see what everybody is scrapping, what topic they're doing, and then what designs they're using, and then what supplies. It's always fun because everybody's doing something different. So we're going to go on a little bit of a trip today, yes, for our monthly celebrations in July. And we're going to be playing with our Kit Krunch kit with these lovely colors. And so that video will be linked below. And then we're going to play with a free Scrapbook Generation sketch. That link will be below. And then we're going to also play with this punch a little bit because I saw something here. I thought this would be fun. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of playing. How's that for Kit Krunch time? Absolutely. So I have some photos here. So for this monthly celebrations, I thought I was thinking about what we did last year in July, and then also too something we've been talking about, my hubby and I have been talking about, has been Charleston. And so we would love to be heading there again this year, but of course without our little one, we just can't do it. No, we decided we just cannot make the trek without our little one because she loved this place, I think, more than I did. So I would feel like I was doing something bad if I went here without her. So that'll have to wait till next year maybe. So, but what I thought what I could do is revisit Charleston. You know, that's how you do it in scrapbooking. If you can't go, look at what look at the photos that you already took from that place. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Charleston, South Carolina. And so I wanted to show that I've done some other layouts concerning Charleston, and I'll have those linked below. And so I've done some about the flowers and about the homes and about the city market, and so these are the ones I have left over. This was just a day trip, so it took a lot of photos. So when I sat down here to figure out what I wanted to do, I decided to break it into categories. So I've done the downtown, the commerce area, I put that in one pile, and then these are just of the different scenes from different parts of the different streets. And then also my third group here was of the homes, and I've already done some of that, but this just helps me break up, instead of going through this whole pack of photos, what's left, instead of going through the whole supply, putting them in categories and then going from what I'm in the mood to scrap. I'm not in the mood to scrap downtown. I'm not really in the mood to scrap some of the things I saw on the streets. So I thought, I would go back right to the homes because oh man, you talk about beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I know a couple of my subscribers are from Charleston, and I say enjoy, ladies, enjoy that beautiful, beautiful city, very rich in history. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrap these two photos, the only two I have left, of these beautiful flowers. I mean, it's just, flowers speak to my heart. It's just like colors. And because flowers always come in such an array of colors. I think that's why flowers speak to my heart. It's just part of who I am. I love flowers. And so I'm going to scrapbook these two, and I'm going to use my Kit Krunch. And so in this case, my Kit Krunch is already determined because that's what I need to play with today. And so I went and picked the photos. Now I'm going to show you how these colors are going to play off what I did in the Kit Krunch, because my Kit Krunch kit is very high energy summer. So how I'm going to play off of that, we're just going to play, absolutely. So these are the two. The rest of these are just beautiful homes and things we saw. And this one was actually called the White House on the tour. That's what they called the White House. They're fun. I mean, just look at the doorways and it's just beautiful. I just need to stop. But anyways, that's what I'm going to celebrate this month, is when we went to visit Charleston, and can't wait to go back. Absolutely. So we did this in July. So it's just very fitting. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Charleston. So the next thing I did was I looked for okay, I'm just putting these in order until I put them in my box again. So what I'm going to do then is I pulled a sketch here, and I recently made sure that my Scrapbook Generation sketches that I could show, because some of mine are paid. Well, most of my Scrapbook Generation sketches are paid. So I wanted to put all my free ones in a pack so that I know when I'm showing something, I have permission to show it. And so the link will be below. The one I'm going to use today is from September 2015. That is from the Create magazine that the lovely Debbie created. She actually created the Create magazine. And so this is the one I'm going to work on. And now I do not pay attention to photo size. I don't pay attention to any of this or any of this. I just look at this as a whole, and it gives me a springboard, and so that's what I'm going to start with, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to play with these photos. We're going to play with this sketch. We're going to play with this punch. And then also to play with these papers, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, right now, I'm going to do a flip through of my yellow color binder, because that is going to be a huge inspiration for how I'm going to do my page. And so when I was thinking of these photos, and of course, you know, some of these papers just are not going to cut the cake. I mean, let's just be honest. It's not going to cut the cake because it's not going to give me the mood and feel I want. But I already know that this jadeite green is going to work because I love this. And here's the thing. I can put these photos here on this gingham, and that gives me one look. This is a diagonal gingham, and I can come over here. Now, this is called gingham, but this really is, this is a plaid. Because when my mom taught us about gingham, gingham always had to have a white square. Okay, that's what the true gingham was supposed to be, but who cares what it's called? It's just beautiful. So I'm going to play off of this sheet because I love it, and it's not the exact green in my pictures, but you get out of that matchy, okay? I'm just going for mood and feel, okay? And I will tell you something else that inspired me was something that I recently got at Tuesday morning, and this was a lovely bread pack. You know I had to bring this home. $1.99 for all these breads. And so this right here, this flower, it jumped out at me, and of course it has that jadeite green, so that is my inspiration. So now what am I going to do for the rest? I'm going to refer to my color binder because I'm going to let that be my guide as for everything else I can use and for this page. So that's how I'm going to start that. And if you don't want to see it flip through, just come back and, oh yes, look, enamel dots. Look at that jadeite green. What else can I find? Okay, I got to stop. I just love playing with color. I know we're all like that. Okay, so I'm going to do a flip through of this yellow color binder because that's the one I picked out for this week, okay? So I'm going to make it work for me, absolutely. So if you want to stick around for a flip through, let's get to that. Yes, now of course, I think what I'll do, well, what I was going to do is I was going to get out some wax paper and pull some things, but that may take a little time. And I know in the summer we're all in a shortage of time, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my photos here. And as I'm looking through my color binder, okay, I have my yellow one here, and of course it's a little yellow sticker there, is that I will see anything that pops out at me that may help me tell my story. And I really don't even know what I'm going to use for a title. It's just these are beautiful. I just absolutely, and you know what? I saw something. Oh, let me go down a rabbit trail. I saw something on an embellishment pack, and I may take a cue off of that. Where was it? I think it was that Willow Lane. Oh, what happened to it? Hold on. Oh, come on. Great gravy train. I couldn't have lost it already. I saw this sticker, and it said, "The beauty of you." And even if I don't use this, this looks a little more whimsical. Oh, but look at those flowers. Oh, yeah, look at those flowers. Okay. Oh, yes, and look at that one. Oh, okay, I'm getting excited. Okay, so right here, I'm already finding things. But even if I won't use this whimsical banner piece that says "The beauty of you," I really honestly think that's what I'm going to use for my title. So sometimes when you're looking at your supplies coming up, starting on a page, look at your embellishments. Sometimes they can give you a cue as color scheme, and then also to a title. So that's what I'm going to call it, "The beauty of you." I just happened to see that when I was putting those things on my desk. Very, very fun. Okay, so let's get to this flip through. And so if you're new to the channel, this is just a color binder. It has 3 product in here. It has stickers, die cuts, and chipboard in that order. This doesn't hold everything I own in those 3 categories, but it's a majority, and it's a whole lot of fun. And we've been talking about that lately in the recent weeks. And so if you want to see a little bit more about this process, I'll have some videos linked below, and then also to organizing Christmas supplies. A couple weeks ago I showed that because I set up one exactly like this, but just for my Christmas stuff, and I'm working on that right now. So the process is very fun to do. Okay, so stickers. Oh yes, look at these stickers. Now when I first started these binders, my plan was I was going to have all these little word labels on one sheet. Well, you kind of get out of that because you just sometimes have to put things where they land. And I want to get, oh, now look at this. See that yellow rose? Oh, yeah, okay, I'm getting excited. Getting excited. Where did I see that? That right there. Boy, is that ever pretty. Okay, so I'm just kind of keeping that in the back of my mind. Of course, now, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Move on, come on. Oh, who else gets excited? Raise your hand. Absolutely. So these are just stickers. And I was just telling one of my lovely subscribers the other day that I honestly could do a whole page. If you gave me a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, I could do a whole page just out of a color binder. I wouldn't need a single thing, because you'll see when you get to the die cuts can act as your pattern paper, and we'll talk about that. So I thought about doing a story-based page about this lemonade. I had thought about that. I may still do that. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. This is not fun. Looky there. Oh man. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Okay. That is pretty. Oh yes. Now remember, I have that jadeite green, or I might have to flip to a yellow. I might have to flip to a yellow piece of paper instead of that jadeite green. I might have to change my mind. Okay, and it's interesting. Okay, remember last week when we were building Kit Krunch and we talked about this punch buggy, and I was asking everybody what they called it, and a lot of people call it slug bugs. I have never heard that term before as a slug bug, because then you would in turn slug someone. I just never heard the term slug bug. We always just called it punch buggy. And then also too, in the news recently, how Volkswagen is now going to stop that. So that is an actual it's amazing how things change. So they're not even going to be manufactured anymore. Interesting. And then the other thing I saw is that I went to go read, I got stuck there. I went to go read how that originated. And it originated because of the Beatles. I did not know that. So, yes, definitely Google that and see how that punch buggy game started. It really had to do with the Beatles. I did not know that. I absolutely did not know that. Did not know that. It was interesting. And then to see in the news again, just the other day, where they're going to stop manufacturing the Volkswagen buggy. Sad. Yes, we're all getting old. Oh, no, that would be pretty too. That would be pretty too. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. See, I have so many flowers. Oh, yeah. See, I have so many flowers. And birdies. I could add some birdies. There's the sun. Okay. Now, this is all yellow. So, if you didn't want to just use all yellow, look for the things that I would have. Oh, yeah. Look for the things that would have more multicolor. And then you can use embellishments to bring in color if you don't have the paper. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, again, these are the die cuts. Okay, and so right there's your pattern paper, just in your die cuts. See, pattern paper, pattern paper, pattern paper. That's how you can get away with that. If you're shortage on paper, use your die cut patterns for your paper. That's always fun. Yes, I love this whole process. Absolutely. Okay, now we're getting into chipboard, and what do we have? More flowers. Oh, this is going to be a fun page. Oh, and there's another one. Oh, okay. Yeah. So definitely, of course, you know, I'm a floral type gal, so I'm going to have a lot of embellishments and paper with florals. And here is one piece of chipboard that is the most gaudiest looking thing. It is right there. I'm not even going to say much, but I keep that because I talk about it so often. Yeah, it's just a reminder of what manufacturers should not do. Okay, and it's interesting because I've talked to a couple of manufacturers and they just act clueless about it. Of course, they're owned by men. And I said, why do you do that design? Why do you do that design? No woman will put this on the page. Not a single woman. But I will tell you, look at this right here. Oh my goodness. That is so pretty. Do you see what I'm saying? If I used one of those gingham pieces of paper and that's all the paper I had, I could use this as my pattern paper, this floral. This is my mind's eye. That's very pretty, which absolutely goes with that collection. Yes. Yes. Somebody tell me if you understand what I'm talking about. That is the most hideous design. Okay. And again, there's more flowers. Very, very nice. More chipboard. Love that. And then, of course, here's a collection. And sometimes if you have some chipboard and it's in a collection, you can keep it as a collection and then you can put it in a color family, or you could do a binder of your chipboard by a certain manufacturer. If you loved crepe paper and you have a lot of die cuts or chipboard in a crepe paper, definitely you could do a whole binder just of chipboard. Yes, and do it by collection, do it by manufacturer. But those are pretty. Those are a little too bright and cheery for this page, but definitely fun. Okay, so that is the flip through. So Sandra, I hope you liked that, because she said, yes, please show. Oh no, those are pretty too. There's October Afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to have fun putting on a video. I see that Lisa Brooks has an organizing video about embellishments. I saw that Heather has an embellishment organizing video. I'll have those two lovely ladies listed below. But then both of those are in the Monthly Celebrations YouTube Hop. So while you're watching their Monthly Celebrations YouTube Hop video, look at their last videos about organizing embellishments. Very, very talented ladies. Okay, so that is how I'm going to start this page. I'm going to have a little bit of fun in the middle of this process, and then come back and I will show you how I finish this page. Yes, of course, using these beautiful photos of beautiful flowers in the beautiful Charleston. Absolutely. Look at that. Oh, and I think that's exactly how they're going to go on the page. Okay, so that's all I have for right now. Come back. I'm going to get busy playing. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back with my finished page, and I love how it turned out because I got to play with my yellow color binder. I got to play with brads. I got to play with puffy stickers. And then let's just add in the sea turtle gingham green. Yes, just wonderful. I loved it. This didn't take very long because it was easy to do. My design is easy. So let's talk about the sketch and how did it translate to this page. Because I'll be honest with you, I pulled this sketch when I started playing and I looked at it one time doing the whole process. Yes. So with the Scrapbook Generation sketches, they do it different than most. Is that they give you actual photo size. And then if you come over here, they give you actual measurements of your banners, your stripes, your photo mats, your journaling strips, your stars, your small stars. They do it all. And then they even give you suggestions about placements and then also to the degrees of pattern if you want to follow that too. Now, some people will take this literally and follow it exactly the way they have it. And that's exactly what you should do. If that's the way you like to use a sketch, this is an awesome setup, okay? And I will have the link below for these free sketches, okay? And I will show you, did I have a chunk here? Yes. I want to show you something, okay? This is how many free sketches you can get at Scrapbook Generations. Look at that. Is that not awesome? I love when a company does stuff like that. So thank you, Scrapbook Generations. These were all free. So you just have to look around. They have a couple different places. This came from the actual Create magazine. So definitely don't forget to look for those free sketches. And so what I did was I just saw where the photo placement was, and then they have this cluster, okay? And that's all I looked at. Basically, that's all I did. Because you'll see that my photo size is completely different than the sketch because I don't pay attention to photo size in a sketch ever because I want to use the photos I want to use. I don't limit myself and say, well, I need to cut that down. This is the size I wanted. So I just made everything bigger. And so my bottom cluster is shifted over here. This cluster is moved in. Okay, and this one was supposed to be up here. So I made them the way I wanted it. So you can see my visual triangle is really close-knit, encompassed around my photos because that's what I wanted because I wanted the focus to be right here. And so that's where my my visual triangle is. Okay, and so then of course playing with that yellow color binder, I literally played with stickers, die cuts, and chipboard. I got all three elements on this page simply using my yellow binder. And that's why I like them by color because I scrapbook by color. And then also too, I didn't have to go three separate places for these elements. I had one binder that had stickers, die cuts, and chipboard. Love that. Yes, it's a game changer. And then of course, even got in some photo corners that was in my yellow color binder. I got 6 brads on here that was brand spanking new to me. That is fun. And then puffy stickers. Oh, just fun again. And so then of course, when I did cut down the sea turtle gingham green by Echo Park, isn't that just lovely? Is that, when you cut something down, you're going to have a strip here and you're going to have a strip here. So what I did was I took those 2 strips, I glued them on top of each other, gave them a tiny, tiny, tiny little fishtail, and I put that down here at the bottom. And so again, this gives you a little bit of a dimension. And then also what it does, it gives you a stopping point for your page rather than just keep running off the page because I'm bottom heavy down here. So just adding these 2 little leftover pieces of scrap paper, and I just layered them right on top of the same design. I followed the same design in this gingham. And then I just glued them on there. Very, very fun because then it just helps you stop. Gives you a shelf for all these beautiful embellishments right here. Yes. And then what else did I do? I did some stamping. Yes, I broke out the stamps. So let's talk about that if you want to. If not, definitely look below. All the gals that's in this hop, you will see much more inspiration. So hit that show more button and you'll see all the girls. But let's talk about stamping for a minute because in my kit, I put in some stamps. Okay, because I wanted to play with them. And you know the old rule of thumb. If you want to play with it, you got to pull it, okay? So I had these ready to go. But what I wanted for this mood and feel of this page is I wanted a small stamp because I didn't have much room to play with, and I wanted something inconspicuous, meaning I didn't want it to be bold and in your face. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to use a different color, and then I wanted something scripty. So this wasn't going to cut it. So this was a representation to use a stamp. So I went and pulled the one I wanted, and then for me, my stamps are organized in a very, very, very simple way. It's just by categories. I think I maybe have like 10 or 11 categories. So this was easy to get to because I just went to quotes and sayings. And this is the one I love. I just love how the size is, and it's script, and it says something, but it's not in your face. And so then what I did, to make a long story short, is I went and grabbed an ink pad, and I wanted to find something in this sea turtle green, because I wanted some stamping on there, but I didn't want it in black. I didn't want it in yellow. I really didn't want to see it, but I wanted it on there, if that makes sense, okay? I wanted it to blend in the background. So what I did was I grabbed my ink pads, okay? And now I have 2 boxes of ink pads. This is my entire inventory of ink pads, this times 2. And I just have these in a photo box, and I'll have a video listed below showing more about that. But you talk about a quick way. Yeah, I'm talking like less than $10. But you see that they all have that swatch on the side. That makes a huge difference when you're looking for a certain ink pad. So what I did was I found one that was closest to this jadeite green, and I wasn't quite sure how this green was going to translate to my sea turtle green of my gingham paper. So what I did was I flipped it over because, you know, I have a mat. So I had gutted my white. This is the A side of my mat. I used the white. And if you're old school, you may know what this paper is. It was Fisker's Cloud 9 paper. Do you know how many years ago that was? But I love the weight of this paper. I think I had 25 of them or something. I think it was one of my first Tuesday morning purchases ever. Yes. But I don't like the design, but the paperweight is nice. So the back is white, and that's what I use for matte. So I gutted that. So the remainder of that white I used to matte my photos, but here exposed that sea turtle gingham. So long story short, I did a test run using this seed packet green from Jenny Bolin. This was an absolutely great partnership for ink pads. Jenny Bolin with Ranger. These are on raised felt. They're just really nice ink pads. Yes, I wish they would have never stopped making them. But anyway, so then I just took my stamp and I did a little test run to see if it would blend well. And it really, really did. So it's hard to look at this swatch, even though that's a dark green, but when I put it on this sea turtle green, you see how it just basically blended in. So sometimes you just have to simply do a test run to get your, you know, what you want. This right here simply is just not going to be enough when you're putting it on a page, especially when you're putting it on a color. Because remember, when you're doing an ink swatch, most of us are doing an ink swatch on white paper. But when I went to use this ink pad today, I'm putting it on green paper, so that's why it looks different. So this is a great key code, but it's not always a good representation of what it's going to look like. So I did a test run because, you know, I only have one piece of paper. Okay, so let's talk about stamping a little bit more because we all want to do more stamping. I know I do. That's why I put them in my kit. So let's talk about a platform, because stamping on a scrapbook page was something I stopped doing because I didn't like how if you put it on a block and you stamped and you made a mistake, then basically your whole page was messed up. You know what I'm talking about. We've all been there. So the platforms really have made a difference. But the one thing I want to say is that if you're new to scrapbooking and you're new to stamping and you're new to stamping on your page, remember with a platform, it's not as easy as they show it in the infomercials. That's all I'm going to say. It's not as easy as you think. Because as you open this up, okay, I just want to show this for a minute. Because you absolutely need, my brands are sticking to my magnets. Wow. Okay. You need the footprint to play with this platform, okay? Because, you know, when you're doing a page, I got brads here, scissors here, glue here, ATG here, washi rolls here. It's not as simple as you think. And so it took me probably longer to stamp than to actually make the page, because as I wanted to do this stamping, okay, and of course you definitely have to keep those magnets away from each other. Pinch your fingers one time and you'll never get them close together. So I'm always afraid I'm going to pinch my fingers. Okay, so I have to open it this way, put it here, and stamp this one. Well, then I want to stamp this, okay? So what does that mean? That means I have to rotate the page. Oh, I had to rotate my platform this way to get this one. Okay, not sticking. Well, then now I wanted to come down here and I wanted to do this one. So I had to come back here and then I had to rotate it again. So just to do this stamping in 3 different places, the platform is great, okay? But you have to remember, this is not a 12-inch platform. You still have to rotate this, okay? Now, that was something I knew when platforms came out, I wanted one because I knew you wouldn't have mistakes on your pages any longer because you can just keep stamping over and over and over till you get that image because those magnets keep everything in place, okay? But I was not prepared that when I wanted to stamp on more than one place, I had to rotate my platform. So that's still something I'm not the craziest about, but you know, you'll do it. Because here's the thing, you open up the platform this way, you got to have room this way. And then if you turn it, then you got to have room this way. Of course, add in 3 lights, a camera stand, and all this other stuff. It's hard. And then if you wanted to, the bottom one, I had to rotate this way. So then I had to have room over here. So I had to maneuver things on my desk just to do that stamping. So I think that's sometimes why we don't do stamping as much. Because, you know, if you made a mistake, especially on scrapbook pages, if you made a mistake, you know, you got to figure out a way to cover it up. So then when the platforms came out, it made it easier, but now it's kind of cumbersome. So I hope someday that they absolutely make something like this platform here. This is a great platform, okay? But they make it that it is absolutely accommodating for a 12 by 12 page, so you don't have to do this rotating all the time. So I just want to talk about that, stamping on a page. Yes, because it makes a great effect, okay? And I hope I can do more of that, okay? But it's not the easiest thing. So I just want to talk about that. Absolutely. So then what I did also, since I have 6 braids on here, you know you got to cover them up. The best thing to do is take some washi you're not crazy about. And I just covered up all my braid prongs with washi. And I also just ran some washi where I did my gutting, because sometimes that gets hung up when you put in a page protector. Okay. And then, of course, I used these lovely jelly bean letters. And I have quite the number of these. This is called Banana Yellow. These are a great font, a great size, great color. But look what happens. They never stay stuck on your page. So I always wait. I put them down. Okay, watch, that bee keeps popping up. Okay, is that I will put them down. See, it pops up all the time. So then whenever I see one pop up, I'll take my quick dry to it. But honestly, every one of these is going to need an extra little bit of glue. So even though I love these, yes, these jelly bean always needs, they're not tacky enough. They just aren't. They're going to keep popping off. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to say for this monthly celebrations, but definitely watch and see what the other girls are doing. This is what I celebrated a couple years ago in July. We went to Charleston, and I took in all these lovely flowers. And you can see that I have my journaling up here too. Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. I have my journaling up here. And I wanted it to, I knew I was going to put it on white background, but I didn't know if I wanted to do that sea turtle green or the yellow. I knew I wasn't going to do black. And that's a neutral, you know, when you're doing journaling, but the black was too bold. I already had a color scheme of this banana yellow and the sea turtle. Yes. So I knew I wanted to do one of those. So I always say especially if you computer generate your journaling, it doesn't hurt to try a couple different fonts and a couple different sizes while you're already there doing the work, copy and paste, okay? So there I did it in the best jade I could. Wasn't going to work. So then I started playing around with the yellow. And so here is yellow, the same wording, but one's in a bold, one's not bold, and then one is in a separate color altogether. So I did not like the yellow that the Microsoft Word gave me. So I don't know if you know this, but you can go into Microsoft Word, and for your font color, you know, you have a drop menu, you can pick colors, and then you can go to standard colors, and then you also too can create custom colors. So that's what I did for my journaling, which is this last one. I went in and I took a combination of what the bold looked like and then the non-bold and this banana yellow, and then I made it a little darker because I wanted to match this October afternoon sticker here. And so I did my own custom color for my layout. So that is something to play with. That's one of those things when you have a little bit of time and you want to just play. Instead of just using a standard color that the Microsoft Word gives you in that color wheel, hit the custom button, and then it's just a slider. And you slide up and down, and you can make all different degrees of colors to match your layout. But then also to remember, when you print something, what you see on the monitor is going to be a tad different than when you actually print it out. That's just what happens. But yes, that is something new to play with, is do your own custom color for your layout. And that's what I did. I created my own custom color because I wanted something to match this and this and this, and that's what I came up with. And I already have my journaling on there. That's fun. Okay, so that's probably a little bit of talking, but a little bit of fun. And yes, just loving these colors. I really like that. When I built this kit, I didn't know I was going to do flowers, but that sure makes me happy. Absolutely. Okay, so that's all I have for today, but definitely hop along with the rest of the gals in this monthly celebrations. Definitely see what they're up to. And then also, too, we have a lot of summer giveaways going on right now, so definitely look at that. I think there's 3 or 4 or something listed right now. And then if you're doing Christmas in July, there's giveaways on that YouTube hop. So definitely take some time, leave some comments, because that's how you can win some free items this summer. Absolutely. So that's all I have for today. Come back to RTS because you never know what we're going to do. Bye.